At 6. Now, so we'll get this meeting called to order at 6:30. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Happy. Here. Councilmember Pruitt. Here. Councilmember Bump. Here. Councilmember Emmerling Baker. Here. Councilmember Keller.
Here.
Councilmember Seeger.
Here.
Mayor Wood. Here. And budget committee members, Cramlett. Here. Zwanziger.
Here.
Hillman. Here. Jones.
Here.
Pistachio.
I'll reach out to her. I think she did mention something about not being able to attend, but I'll have to double check.
You won't be here next week.
I'm gonna be on the East Coast, so it really depends. I've got early morning classes. If I can do it, I don't know the concept of time, it's just more. It's like, so, but if I can. Even make it, I might have to leave it early. I think that'd still be better than.
Right.
I'll try. I imagine I can attend via Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Using the same Zoom link.
Jordan
Yep.
thinks we can get done in one meeting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Always the goal.
It's always the goal, yeah.
Every year, that's the goal.
Always the goal, yeah.
We've done it absolutely since I've been doing it for 20+ years.
That's
I
always
don't
the
think
goal,
we've
yeah.
ever done it.
Two meetings.
Two meetings
Oh,
has been that, yeah,
two?
two meetings
Oh.
has been about, yeah.
So tonight's meeting is pretty straightforward, just a quick orientation for those that are new. We'll go through the process, kind of how budget works, what's in it, what's the point of it. I said should be pretty quick. Also, the physical budget books for those who would like physical ones to look over. I do ask, look it over, get me all your questions before we meet on Wednesday. And next Wednesday, I'll try and answer them. If you want digital copies, please let me know. I'll email them out as well. You want to go ahead and start the slideshow there, Kathy? Please and thank you. Yes.
Can you just put me down for digital copy?
Yes. Yep. Okay, can you share the screen, please? Well, Kathy's getting that going. So the first slide's just the opening slide. So go back to Zoom. Yeah. Nope, click on Bernard's face. Yep, there you go. Hit the green share button. On the arrow. And then hit share. All right, there we go. Next slide, please. All right, so a quick overview of the budget process starts with the appointment of the budget officer, which for Cascade Locks is the city administrator, is in the position's job description. The budget officer prepares a proposed budget, publishes a notice for the budget committee meeting, which was published and put in the newspaper for today's newspaper to meet next Wednesday, the 21st. The budget committee meets and holds any additional meetings thereafter. Once the budget committee reviews it, they approve it and send it for recommendation to the council. Another notice is published with a summary of the budget put in the newspaper for the council meeting. On the next slide, there's then another budget hearing held at the council level. Council then has to approve the budget by June 30th, which is the end of the fiscal year. And it has to be submitted to the county by July 15th. That's kind of the very basic rundown of the budget process. Any questions on that and where this committee falls in there?
How detailed is the budget you submit to the county? Is it this binder?
No, it's a form that the state requires that has it more broken down at a higher level, kind of a category range. Yep. And I can share that with you all if you'd like. Yep. All right, so the budget is not a financial report, it is a financial plan. It's showing where the city is going and how it plans to get there with its resources. It covers one fiscal year, which for the state of Oregon is July 1 through June 30th. Our neighbors just across the river are actually calendar year, slightly different from us. So if you see something coming across in the newspaper about their budget. That's why it's different from ours. It is based on expected revenue, which is taxes, fees, charges, rates, etc., and expenses, which for Cascade Locks is mostly personnel, materials and services, and debt within that fiscal year. The budget appropriates all funds and is the authority used by the city to spend the public's money. So this is where the city's authority comes from to spend that money. Resources versus requirements. Resources are the cash on hand and the anticipated receipts. So for Cascade Locks, those are main categories are property tax for the general fund, utility rates for our enterprise funds, and any other miscellaneous fees and charges the city collects. Requirements are the expenditures going out, payroll, materials and services, debt payments, other budget transactions, which are mostly interfund transfers and items held in reserve. Next slide, please. Okay, estimating. Estimating of resources. Estimates of resources and requirements are detailed in each line. You'll see in your budget book, each line is budgeted out. All resources and requirements must be budgeted and they must be balanced. You have to present a balanced budget to the state for their review and approval. Estimates of resources and requirements must be done in good faith. For an example, we had this discussion last year about internal payments. There was discussion of increasing the rate from 5 to 6. We couldn't actually put that in the budget because the rate hadn't been increased by a vote of the council yet. So it's something we had to come back and do later. So that's an example of it. It has to be in good faith. Okay. Budget committee meetings. All meetings are subject to the same public meeting law that normal council meetings are. A presiding officer must be elected. The council or for Cascade Locks, we have a chair and a vice chair. And Kathy, does it have to be a community member or can a council member be chair? I don't remember. I had that question in my head.
I don't know how to-
Anybody on the budget?
either.
Okay, I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I know it's been Tiffany forever and I didn't know if that affected with you now on council. Okay.
Because I was on when I was council.
Okay, good to know. I wasn't sure for us. A quorum is required to conduct meetings. A quorum, a majority of the committee, is required. Sorry, I'm reading off 2 sets of notes here. The committee request and receive additional information from city officials. Pretty straightforward. If we're going through the budget, everybody wants more detail. You can ask all the questions you want. That's your job. Definition of a quorum. There must be a quorum of a budget committee members for a meeting to occur and to discuss. The Cascade Locks Budget Committee consists of 14 members, 7 members of council, 7 appointed community members. At least 8 members of the committee must be present. A mix of the councilors versus committee members does not matter.
Point of clarification, we are only a 12-member budget committee at this
Doesn't
time.
What's that?
I don't think it matters. I think.
I guess, because then quorum would be 7.
Correct. In this case, a quorum would be 7. You're right. Because there's only 12 seated members. So it's actual members of the committee. So what does the budget committee actually do? It receives the budget document. Here's the budget message. Hears and considers public comment. Approval of the property tax rate. Discuss and revise the budget as needed, and then approve the budget. So that first item receives the budget. Go ahead to the next slide, please. The budget is a public document when released to the committee and is available for public at the same time. There is a hard copy out front of the lobby if anybody wants to inspect it. The city must provide that as part of state law for the entire public to review. Oh, I skipped one. Go. Budget message, prepared by and under direction of the city administrator, that is me. It explains the budget document. It describes the financial policies, explains any changes since last year, and it must be in writing. That is all in this binder, and as part of the meeting on the 21st, I will be reading it out loud, so it is recorded, but it is in writing for the public to review. Hear public comment. The committee will hold a public comment period on the date and time in the published notice, which was the 21st, next Wednesday. Any person may ask questions and comment on the budget. The committee can establish time limits and other policies for public comment period. That is part of the process for the meeting on the 21st as well. Approve the property tax rate. A sample motion here. Let me back up a step. Sorry, my apologies. Cascade Locks has a permanent tax rate of $2.70 per $1,000 of assessed value with no additional local levy option. The budget committee has traditionally approved that full rate. If, let's say, we're flush on money, the committee can vote to not take all of that money in and maybe even set it, I don't know, $2 per $1,000 would be great if we had that money. But traditionally, I don't know if the city has ever not taken that full $2.70, and it's been our rate since at least the 90s. I don't know when that was actually set. But that is one of the committee's jobs, is to set the actual amount assessed and collected.
I'm sorry, I have a question back
Yep.
on here, public comment, we also
Oh, yeah.
have the public hearing on the revenue sharing.
Yes, that's part of it. Yeah. It's two separate things. There's a hearing. We get money from the state, shared revenue from the state, and we have to have a specific public hearing on those funds. But then there's also general public comment on the budget itself. So there's two separate public comment sections. One very specific to what's usually been about $12,000 we get from the state, and then a comment on the rest of the budget.
And the revenue sharing comes from gas tax.
No, it's just general shared revenue from the state. I'm not actually, I think it's from the general fund, but I have to double check.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was from.
I mean, we do get money from the gas tax that's meant for road maintenance and marijuana sales and alcohol, but those are completely separate. This state shared revenue is from the general fund. Okay. So the meat of the job is discuss and revise the budget. Discuss and revise the proposed budget if the majority feels necessary, may reduce or increase the estimates of resources and requirements, may approve budget at the first meeting, or it may take several meetings. Additional meetings may provide the same notice as regular public meeting, but a 24-hour notice. So we don't have to do another public notice in the newspaper where it's between 5 and 30 days. As long as we give 24-hour notice to the public, we're meeting again, we meet all the requirements. And the last step is to approve the budget. Find my notes here. Pretty straightforward. The majority of the committee must approve the budget to be sent to the city council for public hearing, review, and adoption. So like Councilor Emerlyn Baker noted, that for this committee, there are 12 people seated, so the majority is 7. Last slide is our actual budget meeting is May 21st at 6:30 in this building, and also virtual. I do know that you're a maybe, sounds like. Committee member Jones, you're a no. Is that what you said?
For next week. I'm
For-
hoping it goes more than one session.
It probably will. I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
Yeah.
It probably will.
I hate to put that on everybody else, but.
Yeah,
it's
we'll slow it down for you. Just,
Yeah.
Perfect. I actually do have a question too, in regards to that. So in terms of the way we communicate with one another, does it have to be at these committee meetings?
Yes.
Okay.
So I do get me all of your questions. If you can, take the weekend, look it over. I'll dig through all the questions Monday. For those that can attend, we will have this recording up the following Thursday on the 15th on our YouTube channel to watch. So you can see all the fun in action. I don't think this committee wants to rehash what we just did in the previous meeting. So please do watch those if you aren't at the meeting.
Okay. So I have a question on his question, and we can't discuss with each other the budget. I mean, if they have questions, if the new people have questions, they can't.
I don't want it to turn into a serial meeting. I mean, if you have,
Yeah.
It's just like any other public meeting.
yes, exactly.
If we can't meet with more than
Sunshine
a
law.
quorum,
Then-
you know, you could have
Yeah, more
a
than
meeting with
4.
1 or 2 people. Sometimes Jordan will send up messages that might seem like we might be BCC'd or
Yeah.
Don't apply to all.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't reply all.
Like-
Yeah, never reply all.
If you have questions, don't, feel free to reach out to somebody who's been on budget.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I don't want to, sorry, I didn't mean to discourage you, but yes, I just don't want to turn into a serial meeting and we get in trouble. That's the
Yeah, I
last,
don't wanna buy it.
last thing I want. Yeah.
Another question, if I may.
Yeah.
So we're 2 people short, is that right?
Correct.
Is it too late for people to apply at this point?
Well, we'd have to have a council meeting for them to be appointed.
Got it, so it's
Yeah,
too late.
yes, yeah, Monday would have been the last chance, yeah,
Yeah.
unless for some reason we hold a special meeting.
Cool.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bernard.
Oh, go ahead, Bernard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. So, 2 questions, or 1 question, 1 comment. So, our current number of committee members is 12, so a quorum is 7. So let's say we end up with a meeting and there's only 7 of us there. Is it a majority of that 7 that actually takes action? You have to have, in that case, it would have to be a unanimous vote to do anything. Please
Correct.
clarify what the requirements are.
Correct, yeah, so we actually had this issue at last year's budget meeting, where a couple people didn't show up to the last meeting, we had to get them to come in, to actually hold the vote or get the votes to move the budget forward. So if
Okay.
7 people showed up, all 7 have to vote yes to approve the budget.
To move anything forward. Okay, thank
Yes.
you. And then the second comment, look, if there's folks who are trying to get on the budget committee, I'd be happy to do a special meeting to get them appointed. Because this is an important meeting and it's an important group. And obviously my preference is we have a fully allocated committee instead of 12. So we can have more robust conversation. That's why state law sets that. So for what it's worth. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I would just
Yeah.
say that for us to do a special meeting like that, it wouldn't take us long and we could do that even virtually.
It
And I'd
could-
be
yeah.
Totally, I'd prefer to have, full committee as well, if we had 2 people that were interested in applying.
Yeah, we'd have, I mean, again, 24-hour notice. That'd be the only thing is we have to give the 24-hour notice to the public, but yeah, we could do a special meeting just for that item.
I support that as well.
I'll let you all, as council, figure that one out.
Well, I think we heard from 3 of us, I guess,
Yeah.
can we get some direction, I guess, from the board?
I don't know that we can vote.
We
tonight.
can't,
No,
we
we
provide
can't
some
do
direction
anything.
though. Do we have to vote or can we just say that we're okay holding a special meeting if we get more applicants?
Yeah. If we, yep, yeah, if we get more applicants, I'll notify everybody, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so if you want to go do your sales pitch, have them send their applications in, yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got somebody who expressed interest, but they never stepped forward. I'm going to nudge them when we're done with this call. So, for
Okay.
what it's worth.
Perfect, yeah. More the merrier.
Okay.
It's not too late.
No, we got a week. Yeah. Awesome. Any more questions? Any more fun?
And just so you said that we'll have a meeting next week, we won't have a meeting the following week of Memorial Day.
Correct,
week,
yep.
And then in June will be our next meeting.
Yes, yeah. So we have the 21st scheduled, the week of Memorial Week 20, which would normally be the 28th. I will be on vacation, so no meeting that week. The next scheduled one is June 4th. And then I think at that point, we'll see how far we get and play it by ear. Traditionally, it's been every Wednesday, but as we get further into June, we need to move a little bit quicker than once a week. Yeah.
We have panic meetings.
Yeah.
And and those who are new, be sure and read this.
Oh, yes, thank you.
This
Yeah.
will be,
Yep.
This will maybe answer some of your questions.
Yep. Inside your book is a handbook for those of you inside the front cover. So thank you, Tiffany. I forgot that was on there.
Do we have to have a motion to adjourn?
No. this
Nope.
is just-
Nope.
This is just an information meeting.
I can adjourn you all.
Bernard has his.
Mr. Bennett, yeah, real quick. Can
Yeah.
someone make a hard copy for me and I could just go and grab it from their house? Is that
I have it
possible? Like
before
one
you
of the
here.
council members?
I can take
'Cause
it.
I won't-
I'll take it home with me and you can stop. by
Thank
on it.
you, Councilor. Yeah, and I could just stop by
I'll just-
on
I'll just
Saturday if
throw
that's
it at
okay.
you. I'll just
Or
throw
you
it
can-
at you.
Throw it on my porch. Yeah, either all those
Yeah,
work.
Grab
Yes,
one of these.
please. Thank you.
All right, thanks, everyone. I appreciate your time. Please get me all your questions.
Thank you, Jordan, for your time.
Yep. It was fun.
And you didn't hear from Connie at all?
Yes, she wasn't, I